When the Big Bopper died in a plane crash, alongside Buddy Holly and Richie Valens, many questions surrounding the tragedy were left unanswered. But a recent autopsy may have uncovered some answers. What did it reveal? Keep watching to find out. Jiles Perry Richardson, more famously known as the Big Bopper, was born in 1930 in Sabine Pass, Texas. He had dreams of becoming a lawyer, but he was naturally gifted when it came to music and was part of the chorus in college.
He knew music. He had a feel for music.
It was also during that time when he worked at the Beaumont radio station KTRM. He was eventually offered a full-time position, and he became known as the Big Bopper, which was a reference to a popular dance move at the time called the bop. Richardson was so successful with his work at the radio station that he became a program director, and his dream of becoming a lawyer was set aside. At the same time, the Big Bopper started writing his own songs, and he was signed under a record label. Despite his first single being popular with the country crowd, it didn't penetrate the music charts. That all changed, however, when he released the song Chantilly Lace in 1958. It reached a peak position of number 16 on the pop charts and was in the top 40 for 22 weeks. Soon, the Big Bopper was a star, and he joined other singers at the Winter Dance Party in 1959, a 24-day tour of big musicians through the Midwestern part of the country. The tour started on January 23, 1959, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. On February 2, 1959, the Big Bopper, Richie Valens, and Buddy Holly had just played a gig in Clear Lake, Iowa, and they were scheduled to travel to Moorhead, Minnesota next. Prior to that, the musicians had been traveling in a freezing tour bus, and Holly decided to charter a plane to get to their next gig. The three boarded a small Beechcraft Bonanza plane at approximately 12:30 a.m. on February 3rd. Shortly after takeoff, the plane crashed into a cornfield just a few miles from the airport. Valens, Holly, and Richardson were thrown out of the plane, while the pilot was found in the cockpit. All four of them died. Per biography, initial investigations into the incident blamed the 21-year-old pilot Roger Peterson and bad weather for the accident. It was later found out that although Peterson had sufficient flying hours and had passed his written test, he was yet to qualify for flying using only reference instruments, which was what he had to do that night. At the crash site, Buddy Holly and Richie Valens were discovered near the plane, while the Big Bopper's remains were almost 40 feet away from the site. An autopsy was not performed right after the crash, but the coroner's investigation report revealed the disturbing condition of Jiles Perry Richardson's body. The Big Bopper was found wearing a red flannel shirt with blue pants. His head was badly crushed, and according to the coroner, his skull was split open and his brain was, quote, completely eviscerated. The right side of his head sustained the most damage, and he couldn't be identified merely by looking at him. The coroner had to take his fingerprints to confirm his identity, per the coroner's report. Internal injuries weren't identified, as an autopsy wasn't performed. Richardson was only 28 years old. In 2007, an autopsy was conducted on Jiles Perry Richardson 48 years after the plane crash that took his life. It was done at the request of his son, Jay Richardson, who was still in his mother's womb when his father died. He wanted some answers regarding his father's death, one of them being whether or not the Big Bopper survived the impact. Since his body was found farther than the others, there was some who believed he was able to walk away from the crash before eventually dying. Dr. Bill Bass, a renowned forensic anthropologist, conducted the autopsy. The Big Bopper's body was in good condition, and x-rays were taken. The results confirmed the fractures the coroner reported in the investigation, and they were present from his head up to his legs. According to Dr. Bass, Richardson most likely died immediately upon crashing based on the injuries he found during the autopsy, as reported by Knox News. In a 2007 interview with the Today Show, Dr. Bass confirmed, "There was no indication of foul play. There are fractures from head to toe, massive fractures. He died immediately. He didn't crawl away. He didn't walk away from the plane." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about your favorite musicians are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.